Hello everyone, welcome to this video. It is I, Robot the Hummingbird, and as well as revealing my voice, today we're going to be looking at my own list of the top 10 worst Godzilla monsters in the franchise. This is my own list, so there's bound to be criticism, but without further ado, let's hop in straight to number 10, Varan. Now, Varan is purely on this list because it's what could have been, you know? It's what could have been, and it didn't turn out well. So, Varan first appeared in the 1958 film, Varan the Unbelievable, and straight after the film's release, was scheduled to appear in 5 other Godzilla films and only ever appeared in 1. And that was Destroy All Monsters in 1968. So, Varan, it's what could have been, and didn't turn out to be quite the success. You know, it could have been a whole fantastic legacy, but turned out to be an utter failure. So, yeah, what could have been and turned out to be utter failure. Number 9, Hedorah. Now, Hedorah is literally just plain weird. So, like, if you look at it, you just don't know what's going on with it. It looks like someone who came up wrong out of therapy. I don't know. It's apparently a pollution monster, what it said in the film. The film itself was as weird as anything, so no surprise that it looks weird itself. I mean, if you look at Hedorah itself, it looks like a skyscraper that's exposed to nuclear bomb testing. Now, people have said that Hedorah is supposed to be Godzilla's most strong opponent. Well, one of them. It is, but I mean, look at it. You can't really take it seriously, can you? So Hedorah's here because, well, it's strong, but it looks absolutely awful and terrifying at the same time. So I don't really know what to say about it. It's just not the best looking monster. I mean, you want it to make it look good, but it's really not, is all I can say. I mean, the suit looks okay, but it's the creature itself that looks horrible. But with that being said, number 8, Space Godzilla. Oh god. So, Space Godzilla is, well, quite a lazy villain, if so. It's basically Godzilla with a few extra shoulder pads, if you ask me. So, as we know, Godzilla has atomic spines down his back, but Space Godzilla is basically that, but with 2 extra pads on his shoulders. And of all the designs that they could have chosen, and the fact that they chose this, comes off as really lazy. Like, the other designs that were marketed to be in it looked really good and different, and I understand that since it was a Godzilla species, they didn't want to differentiate it too much, but, well, at least make it interesting. But, here's a picture. I don't know if you can see it, but you know, it's just here because, you know, it's a good villain and all, but, you know, it wasn't really made that interesting. It was just Godzilla with a few extra shoulder pads, if you ask me. But with that being said, let's move on to number 7, and that is, oh, wait a minute, let me just wait for the picture to load in, hold on. That is Meteoro Godzilla. So, this Godzilla first appeared in the 1973 film, and only appeared in that film, Godzilla vs. Megalon. And whilst there's nothing wrong with this Godzilla, I mean, it looks like Godzilla, it's fine, like the suit and everything, he's got the spines, don't worry. It looks absolutely fine, but the only problem I have with it is that it's its eyes. I mean, like, if you look at the picture, I mean, look at the eyes. They've just made Godzilla's eyes look bigger, make it look like an anime, which doesn't really look in. And it makes him look more cute than fierce, like he should be. He should be fierce looking and not cute. For all I can say, because of the eyes made bigger, it looks more like a sheepy dog, and not a fierce reptile like he should be. But, yeah. Apart from that, it made it good. I mean, it was good and stuff. I mean, it performed a long-distance dropkick, which of course denied the laws of physics, but, you know, what are you going to do? Next, we have 84 Godzilla. Now, I understand that many people are a fan of this because it was the first ever Godzilla film to actually use both a suit and an animatronic, and a huge one at that, taller than human. I am not one of them, actually. I think the animatronics sort of spoiled it. I thought that they could just use the suit for the whole film, and it would look fine. For close-ups, they used the suit, which looked fine, but far away they used the gigantic animatronic, which kind of ruined it. Also, when the animatronic roared, it really did show that it was a robot and not an actual creature. And that was a kind of disappointment. And also the animatronic moved incredibly slowly, which also pointed out that it was clearly a robot, and not very convincing if you ask me. But many people like it, and of course I can't argue with that because I can see where people are going with it. But of course, you are what you eat, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Next up on the list, we have Void Ghidorah. Oh, Jesus. Now, when a kaiju appears in the Godzilla anime trilogy, you know it's going to be an utter terrible disappointment. And that's exactly what Void Ghidorah was. Now, the Godzilla anime trilogy has a record of being one of the most boring films of all time. I remember when I watched it on Netflix, I fell asleep watching the first two and barely stayed awake to watch the third and final film. Now, Void Ghidorah is purely on this list because it is utter useless. And it is probably, yet it's the biggest Godzilla monster of all time, it is so slow and useless. Like, when it comes up, like, all it does to Godzilla in the final film is bite onto him and then gets blown up. That's literally all that happens. Like, Godzilla and King Ghidorah meet, and it was supposed to be a huge battle, and all Ghidorah does was bite onto Godzilla, and then Godzilla blows Ghidorah up. It was an utter disappointment, and Void Ghidorah can barely move, like Godzilla himself in the anime trilogy. But yeah, Ghidorah looks well, it looked okay. I mean, at least make the battle more epic, but Void Ghidorah really didn't really appeal to anyone, and that included me. That included me as well. So, yeah, I really didn't like it. I did not like it at all. I expected much better from it. But, yeah. Next on the list, we have 3 creatures all bundled up together. And this is Kumonga, Kamacuras, and Ebera. So this is Kamacuras. And it's basically, there's nothing really special about them 3, so as you can clearly see from the picture, Kamacuras is clearly just a grasshopper. And Kumonga's not even much more special, as if I show you a picture here. Hold on, why is it not loading? Load iPad. Okay, there we go. You can clearly see it's just a spider. And with Ebera, it's even worse. It's even worse because there's still nothing special about them. He's just a giant lobster. Now, the main reason that all 3 of these are bundled up together is I both have the same problem with them. They are not special in any way. They're just basic generic creatures exposed to radiation and turn massive. For example, Kamacuras doesn't even have any special powers. He's just a giant grasshopper. And that's about it. Nothing else special about him. Ebera's just a giant lobster, and yeah, he can throw rocks, but he gets blown up. And Kumonga is actually the only one out of those 3, the giant spider, that actually has a special power, but it does absolutely nothing. All it can do is spray a web. And as seen in the Son of Godzilla film, it doesn't do anything to Godzilla at all. Whilst it does make him fall over, that's about it. That's it. It doesn't do anything else. So the main reason they're all 3 are jumbled together is whilst there's no problem with them, there's nothing special about them. And that's the main reason that I have with them. Nothing special about them. So let's get on with the 3rd one. And that is probably the ugliest one, Minilla. Yeah, you'll probably think, what the hell am I looking at, robot? Well, that was supposed to be the son of Godzilla. And turned out it was. Unfortunately, for all eyes that actually watched this film, Godzilla somehow had a son that looks like something that came out of my toilet. But yeah, Manila is just plain ugly. It's useless in battle. I mean, yeah, it can blow atomic rings, but it can't fight for itself at all. And yeah, it's just a disappointment. And yeah, at least make it interesting. And at least the Son of Godzilla got better in the 90s, because it actually looked like a baby Godzilla. But yeah, it's just a disappointment yet again. Oh, but it even gets worse. At number 2, we have the most hated Godzilla monster of all time. Second, actually. Gabra. What can I say about this green lumpy piece of crap that hasn't been said before? Gabra is so useless, and he only appeared in one thing, and that was it. Just one film, no video games, one film. And that was Godzilla's Revenge in 1969. Gabra is just a warty, I don't really know how to describe him, but Gabra is scared to fight Godzilla, so guess what? He beats up his son instead. As soon as Godzilla shows up, Gabra is seen running away. And when Gabra actually chooses to fight Godzilla in the ending scene, he does absolutely nothing to Godzilla. I mean, yes, Gabra has these powers with his electric hands, but he needs to get up close to his opponents. And, well, when you're facing Godzilla, it's quite hard to get up close, isn't it? But Gabra doesn't even hurt Godzilla in this fight. And, well, yeah, he does electrocute Godzilla. Godzilla doesn't really feel it at all, so it's kind of useless. And Gabra is so hated, he hasn't appeared in anything else other than this film. Unless you count Godzilla Singular Point. But apart from that, nothing. And now we go on to the final, and probably, in my opinion, the most hated kaiju, in my opinion. I hate it, and everyone in the world hates it. At number 1, we have the American Godzilla. Oh my god. Talk about a disappointing movie of crap. Yes, number 1 is the American Godzilla. Now, of course, we all know Godzilla is a Japanese movie and belongs to Japan. So America always decide to destroy everything to do with Japan. They destroyed the cities and now the movie franchise. And they made it an utter disappointment. Now Zilla, or well, aka Godzilla, the American version, is actually, instead of being a mutated T-Rex like Japan wanted them to be, it's a mutated iguana. Sorry, what? Now, yes, you could argue that both an iguana and a T-Rex are both lizards, but there's a clear difference between an iguana and a T-Rex. I think we can all agree there. But yes, and instead of being a T-Rex exposed to the radiation of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, he's just a lizard in a nuclear bomb test. Oh my god. And the even worse thing is, throughout the years of Godzilla, the military do absolutely nothing to Godzilla. Like when they fire their missiles, nothing happened. Godzilla just walks off like, what a mild inconvenience. But no, how does the American Godzilla get defeated? By 4 missiles. 4 missiles. And we're talking about Godzilla here. He doesn't get defeated by missiles. He gets defeated by an enemy, not missiles. This is probably the first ever movie where Godzilla actually gets affected by the military. And the military have always done absolutely jack nothing to the Godzilla throughout the years. So, yeah, utter disappointing crap. But with that said, this is the end of the video, and I hope you did enjoy me ranting about 10 monsters that I dislike a lot. If you did like the video, please like and subscribe, that would really help. And if you want to see more top 10 lists, please comment down below and I will possibly say what you want me to do a top 10 of, and I will probably do that. So if you don't like my voice, bugger off. But with that said, please like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video, guys. Bye-bye.